Hello, everybody. Adam here, who's also Razorblade Mango. And first of all, apologies for the lack of videos for the last couple of weeks. It's been a really hectic couple weeks for me. I haven't had time most of the days to do anything. And I've been trying to get through Persona 5 as well, so I can do a nice, long, super duper video on that, because I wanted to beat the game before I talked about it. But today, with E3 season rolling around, like less than a month now, I guess I'll do my annual E3 predictions, wish list, and nopes as like what we don't want. And by we, I mean I have someone else with me, and Mario is back to talk about E3 because for the last Half-Life 3. For the last fucking 4 years? 2014, 2015, 16, 17. Yeah.
Longer.
No, it's been 4 years because we were still in high school back then.
Oh yeah, we were.
So, coming up 4 years, we've been watching E3 together, and it's become a tradition for us. And it's definitely, I know it's weird to say that, you know, like a gaming conference is like my favorite time of the year, but it is personally my favorite time of the year because it's like Christmas is not a thing for me, Halloween isn't a thing for me, Easter really isn't a thing for me. Like my job prevents me from enjoying most holidays, but well, E3
probably St. Patrick's Day is your year too.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you love drinking, don't you?
I like drinking, but not St. Patrick's Day. So without further ado, oh yeah, and say hi, Mario. Yeah, that's enough of that. And I'm not fucking having you do that. So, alright. So I guess we'll start with chronological order based on what conferences there are going to be. So this year it's going to be, actually in this order it's different this year. It's EA, then Microsoft on Sunday for the first time in forever.
The fuck?
Right? And then Bethesda, and then Ubisoft, and then Sony. And I'm not going to talk about Nintendo or the fucking PC gaming show because I really have very little interest in either of those two, unless you wanted to say something about like Super Mario Odyssey. That's really about it for Nintendo for me.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just Super Mario Odyssey. But let's start with EA. So, what do you want EA to be this year?
I want Battlefield Bad Company 3. Because when was the last time since like we had a Bad Company game? Wasn't it 09?
I'll have to look that up.
I think it was 09 because I know Modern Warfare 2 came out that year, and so did Bad Company 2.
Bad Company 2 came out in 2010. So it's been more than 7 years. March 2nd, 2010.
I think that's plenty of time for them to actually come up with a Bad Company 3.
That would be nice. I mean, considering they're now on like the World War I high with Battlefield 1. I don't know if they'll go back to Bad Company 2, or Bad Company 3, sorry, but we'll see.
Unless if they do that DLC they did with like, was it Vietnam? Unless they make a Bad Company 3 out based on that.
Probably.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really expect to hear anything of Battlefield this year, just because 1 is out so early. I think the big centerpiece this year is undoubtedly going to be Star Wars. Like, Star Wars Battlefront is going to be like the big thing for EA this year. Like, the biggest thing. 1, because it's Star Wars. And 2, because they have a lot to prove with Battlefront 2. Because Battlefront 1, as much as I enjoy playing it in small bursts, like just by myself, because the multiplayer, it's dead.
Or pretty much if you mean just play as co-op.
Yeah.
Because we can't really... The multiplayer is pretty much dead. It's not as fun as it was in the beginning.
Was it fun in the beginning, though?
It was fun in the beginning because there were so many people playing it. Now, if you try to find a match, it takes forever.
Oh, yeah.
It takes forever just to get in the goddamn match.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I'm going back to either whatever, like Battlefield
Back
or
to Titanfall 2.
pretty much, yeah. You're like, and like what, in seconds you find a match already?
Well, the thing is, like, I bought the Ultimate Edition when it was on sale for $20. Like, I just saw it one day at GameStop and I was like, fuck it, I might as well, just because it's like it's got everything and it's $20, which I think is what the base game should have been to begin with how little there was. But if you try to go like just on the PS4, if you try to go into like any of like the Death Star maps or the like Bespin or any of the DLC packs that weren't free, there's nobody playing. And I wanted to try out the Death Star one. And when I went in there, I waited in that fucking lobby for like 5 minutes, and there were maybe like 2 or 3 people that showed up. We couldn't even get 5v5. Like, that's how dead it is on PS4. I'm pretty sure it's even worse on Xbox. PC, maybe PC. I'm not sure, because PC, you don't have to pay for online for EA Origin. But I guess what I want from Star Wars Battlefront 2, which they've already confirmed that, you know, there's going to be, you know, more planets, there's going to be a campaign, and all that is great. Space battles, like that, the fact that a Star Wars game having space battles is considered like a big feature shows how bad they fucked up with that first game. That first game, it's not a terrible game, it's just, it was so disappointing. I am pretty sure EA, as tunnel vision focused as they are, I'm pretty sure like they heard all the people going, what the fuck is this shit? This is what is this? This isn't Star Wars Battlefront. So, I mean, I've already done a full video about Battlefront 2. You guys know my thoughts on it. So, Mario, what would you want for Star Wars Battlefront 2? Like, what would you want them to show off? Besides Chewbacca.
No more fucking power-ups.
Yeah, I think they're getting rid of that.
They're getting rid of that? It should be based on the person who does better than others and actually does more of an effort like it back was in the other games. And at least you can control a fucking ATT without using the fucking power-ups again. And what else was there?
There's hero units.
The hero units.
Space battles.
Are we gonna be able to use like the fucking speedster bikes, all that stuff now?
Well, no, here's the thing. The only useful possible vehicle in the first Battlefront that could have been was the speeder bikes. But they were terrible because they were in such a small environment in on Endor. There wasn't like a dedicated mode for speeder bikes. It was just Walker Assault and
compared to the originals?
Yeah, it was compared to the originals. It was so limited compared to like what you could do. And there were no Tauntauns on Hoth. There were no Ewoks on Endor. There were no not even any Wampas running around. No, like there's a dedicated mode in Battlefront 2 called Hunt Mode. Like not this Battlefront 2, the 2005 Battlefront 2. Hunt Mode, where you could do Ewoks versus the Empire, Wampas versus the soldiers. Like you could do stuff where you can play as the creatures. I don't think they're gonna do that here, but that was cool back then. I enjoyed that back then.
Yeah, what he said. Well, because it's so fucking true. Yeah. Like, it felt like every time I was playing it, it felt like it was just empty and dead. Yeah. I'm like, where are the little Ewoks I used to hear? Like, all the fucking time, just hearing them all the time. And, you know, like, it wasn't really, to me, it just felt like empty.
Exactly.
It just felt empty to me. There wasn't anything special. It was just, like, limited. Like everything pretty much sucked to me. I felt like going on eBay and just finding a fucking Star Wars Battlefront 2 game and just buying it. Buying a PS2 again and just like play that instead.
Oh sure.
And I think that would have been more cheaper.
Buying a PS2.
Or I can just buy, actually no. I think I do have it. I still have my PS2.
I have 2 PS2s. I have 2. I have my old one right over there, and then I have another one, I think, in
You basically have the
another
whole
room.
collection, PS2, PS3, and
I'm missing a PS1, but PS2 can play PS1 games.
Eric has a PS1.
Doesn't Richard buy a PS1 as well?
He doesn't even play it.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't fucking play it anymore.
He doesn't fucking play it.
So anyway, moving on from Star Wars Battlefront 2, because I don't want to I don't want to have this go on like super long, and we're already at the fucking 10-minute mark. What I want, okay, they're gonna have sports. They're gonna have FIFA. They're gonna have Madden. They're gonna have NHL. They're probably gonna have UFC.
Barcelona.
They're gonna have I don't even like FIFA, like all that anymore. I'm just kind of like, whatever. It's sports. There's sports and shooting. That's all EA really does. What I want to see is if they're going to show off anything from that Visceral Star Wars game, or even better, the Respawn Star Wars game. Which I doubt they're going to show anything from the Respawn Star Wars game, but you never know.
Also, I want a Skate 4.
Skate 4 would be nice. I want Skate 4.
It's been a while.
It's been long time since Skate 3. Skate 3 was great. I really like Skate 3. I don't know if they'd bring that back though, because they're so focused on doing that. What was that? Like aren't they doing another Need for Speed? They're doing another Need for Speed, which I think in this, like, they announced it like, oh, we're gonna have it be single player now. You can pause the game now. And it's like, what fucking day and age is this when the ability to pause the game is considered like a big feature now? That's like the whole Star Wars and Space Battles thing. Like, to pause the game in a Need for Speed game, that's your selling point. That's pathetic. That's absolutely fucking pathetic. It's so bad. Yeah. It's so fucking bad. So
it's like, nowadays developers are so fucking stupid. They think like the most like simplest things are like the most hardest for them.
Well, it's like this whole excuse with like the death of local co-op and the death of backwards compatibility into like the Xbox One, which we'll talk about that later. I have something to say about that, but it's like, how tone deaf do you have to be to announce that as a feature? Like, for real, how fucking tone deaf do you have to be? And then, so EA, and they'll most likely talk about the Star Wars Visceral game. Most likely, because that thing was teased last year, and it was like one little 5-second clip of it. We'll probably get a release date, probably 2018, and then Respawn will come out in 2019. So the Respawn one, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most, because Respawn are like, they're on like my, they're not like one of my most well-respected game developers right now, just because of, the original Titanfall, but considering Titanfall 2 is like one of my very favorite games ever, I have high hopes for this Star Wars game that they're doing, which should be like, if they bring that same talent that they did from Titanfall 2 to this, ooh, oh boy, that'll be cool. I will love the shit out of that. What else could they do?
Dead Space 4.
They could do Dead Space. I've heard rumors that they're thinking about bringing back Dead Space, but it
has to be like not like the third one.
Well, the third one was just like microtransaction heaven.
Microtransactions, and it wasn't that like scary as like the original ones, where like everything was like you were just afraid to walk around.
Yeah.
And this one, it's like daylight time, so it's in the
snow.
It's in the snow, but but it was mostly like throughout the game was like you're mostly in the daylight. It wasn't as scary as much as compared like when you're like somewhere dark, you can't see shit. The only thing is you, and you're looking at a damn vent the whole time.
Sure.
Pretty much. In this one, it's just pretty much just know that you can, for every like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, you can just walk out. One's gonna pop out.
Sure.
And after that, they kind of like brought the co-op thing, which I thought was nice, but it wasn't really. I didn't like it as much.
I never did the co-op.
I
didn't have anyone to play with.
That's actually true. Neither did I.
I rented it for like a couple of days, and I was just like, I'm over this. Like, this ain't 2. 2 is the best one, I think. I love 2. If they were to bring back a Dead Space like 2, I'd be happy. I would buy the shit out of that. What was the name of that? Hold on. What was the name of that that indie game they did last year? It wasn't Unravel. Like that's another thing. Unravel 2, they'll most likely talk about.
Here's another one.
What's another one?
If EA can pull this off without like fucking ruining it, I would love a Medal of Honor, but something good, something like that will intrigue us. Not like, what was it, Warfighter?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I hated that.
The reason why I only got Warfighter because it came with the original Frontline, and that's the only reason why I got it on the PS3. I was just playing Frontline the whole time. I didn't even touch Warfighter.
I played Warfighter when it was a part of the free games on PS3. I couldn't get past the first hour. I was like, this is so fucking boring. I cannot. I'm not gonna waste my time with this. I just gave up. But I don't know. Like as much as I'd love to see like a comeback for Medal of Honor, I feel like ironically enough, Call of Duty World War II is gonna scratch that itch for me. And this is coming from someone who has not given a shit about Call of Duty probably since Ghosts, which honestly I think Ghosts is the only good Call of Duty game that's come out since. You shut the fuck up. Ghosts
Modern Warfare 2.
No. I mean like this console generation.
Oh, this console.
No. I'm not. No. Ghost is not better than fucking Modern Warfare, the entire Modern Warfare trilogy, Call of Duty, Black Ops 1 and 2, World at War. It's not better than any of those. No, but it's still, I think it's okay. I think it's alright.
Have you played Advanced Warfare?
I haven't even bothered with Advanced Warfare.
It's not that bad actually. It's not that bad.
That's what Jordan, my point and click co-host, keeps telling me. He's like, yeah, man, like, and you're not into Call of Duty, but at least try out the Advanced Warfare thing. And I'm like, like I've seen it be cheap, and I've almost bought it, but I'm just like, when am I gonna play this? Like, when am I gonna have the energy to play this when I have so many other games I want to get through? I don't know.
It's not bad. The story was actually pretty good. I liked it.
I played Black Ops 3, which I thought was terrible. I don't know how anyone could like that game. I don't get it.
I don't know how the fuck they went from like Mason and Woods to that.
I couldn't even fucking follow it after like a couple hours. It was just all this bullshit about them going into dreams, and they had like the BioShock thing with the plasmids. It was so fucking weird. I was just like, I can't get into this. This is like, it's like people say Inception is hard to follow. I can follow Inception really easily. Like even back then I thought when everyone was like, oh, Inception is so confusing. I'm like, Inception's not that confusing. This is fucking confusing. This like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 shit. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that. Infinite Warfare, I don't even care. I don't care to try it out. I don't care about the multiplayer. I don't care about fucking... I don't even really care about the zombies or the multiplayer for World War II. I just want to try it for the campaign. Like all I saw was Normandy, and I'm like, okay, Normandy I will buy a Call of Duty for. Like if they remaster it really well, that will be cool.
Especially the thing they're doing online where you can go online and you can play D-Day. You pretty much be on the US side or the Germany side.
Is that a thing?
That's an online thing I heard. Look it up.
Oh, okay.
I heard it's an online thing, which I actually got pretty excited about that. Which I'm like playing, doing D-Day over and over again, but choosing different sides, see who does better and who does not. And I'm like, no, this is a real. I pretty much like I looked it up online. They said supposedly it's gonna be like a real thing.
Interesting. Well, I'll look it up while we're talking. But Fee, that's what I remember. Fee was that do you remember that that one game that was like it was like a darkened shadow creature that was like in this like purple forest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll probably show that off because that's like their new indie game that they're doing now. Like they'll probably do another one where it's like, oh, EA Originals or some shit like that. They'll just be like, oh, here we go, another indie game. So that's, unless you can think of anything, that's really all I can think of regarding. Oh no, they might show off that new BioWare IP, like that one that's like they said is going to be like Destiny. which I'm like, ugh. EA taking the Destiny model. Oh man, they're gonna take the fucking piss with that. They're gonna take all your fucking money. Taking all your fucking money. That's what they should have called that shit. EA, oh god, EA doing a Destiny. Ugh, I don't want to think about it. Poor BioWare too. Poor BioWare. No, not poor BioWare. Fuck BioWare for doing that fucking Mass Effect Andromeda shit. Fuck that. Fuck them. So I guess that's EA. I just don't want it to suck like last year's, because last year's was fucking boring. It was so awful. That was like easily the worst one out of them all. Even Ubisoft was better, and that was 2 hours of misery. Well, mostly misery. So anyway, moving on to Microsoft, which I want to make something very clear before I talk about Microsoft. I legit want Microsoft to do well this year, because if they were to completely drop the ball and fail and have the Project Scorpio be a bust, that would make Sony complacent. You need healthy competition in order to make them better, because without competition on Microsoft's end, because it wasn't that long ago, it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago that Microsoft was like the big, exclusive third-party IP company back then. Like, and I was reading an article about this. Like, it was not that long ago that, it was because of Microsoft's success that Final Fantasy started going on to the Xbox. That's the reason. Like, the Xbox 360 was so successful that Square Enix was like, hey, we need to stop making these PlayStation exclusive and put this shit on Xbox. Make Final Fantasy 13 for Xbox 360. And boom. A couple years later, now we have Final Fantasy 50 on Xbox One. We're probably going to get Final Fantasy Remake on Xbox One at some point. Even the Type 0 was on Xbox One. So it's like, you can turn the tide. It's possible. I don't know what they have that will get me personally to really get into what they're doing. I don't know what they have. What do they have? Everything that they have potentially is either getting canceled or they're severely under-marketing it. I would, because I have a PC that could easily run any of the Xbox One games that they're doing. And that's another thing. If they're gonna keep going with this PC Play Anywhere Now thing, there's no reason to get a Scorpio. Just get a PC. Just have a PC and a PS4. You'll have all the Xbox exclusives at that point. What do they have? And even with Project Scorpio having these massive specs, massive things, it's like so what? That's cool in the long run. You want to make a super powerful super powerful console that can run every game 1080p 60 frames? Fine, I have no problem with that. That's great. However, what do you have for me that I can only get on this? And I don't think the answer is going to be what everyone is hoping for. That's my honest take on it. Before I answer this question, what would it get? What would you like to see? What would be the thing that convinces you to get Project Scorpio? Anything. Within the realms of, reality. Not I would say, put Radiata Stories remake on Xbox One Scorpio and I'll buy it. I'd buy an Xbox One Scorpio if they were gonna do that, because Radiata Stories is one of my favorite games ever, and probably the most underappreciated game ever. So I'd want to see it on Xbox, or I'd want to see it on anywhere, no matter what. But what would it take for you to get Project Scorpio?
An exclusive that is only on the Xbox and not on PC or anything else. Pretty much, it's just there. But an exclusive that actually seems intriguing, not just the same bullshit with Halo and Gears of War.
Yeah.
It has to be something I was actually really, since I have an Xbox One, I was really tempted to actually get Scalebound.
Did you have an Xbox One?
I have an Xbox One at home. Remember I told you?
What?
Angels.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I told you.
The one you barely use.
Yeah, the one we barely use. And I was like, you know what? I finally found something that I can actually use it for.
It's on PC. It would have been on PC.
It would have been a PC too, but supposedly they canceled it because it couldn't run on the Xbox, but it could have run on the PC. Which I don't know why they'll, throw away millions of dollars into the trash. They could have released it for PC actually. And they wouldn't have gotten back their money. There
we go. Right there for Ubisoft.
What time? Ubisoft
1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday. 12. But what I would want from Xbox, one would be the stepping stone. Like, one really great Project Scorpio exclusive would be the stepping stone. It would have to be years of like consistently good stuff, which is what the PlayStation has. Like, the PlayStation has that. Like, let's take our feelings out of it. Let's take our PlayStation fandom out of this. Let's look at this as objectively as possible. Not just the quality. I'm not talking about the quality games. I'm talking about the overall, like, osmosis behind each one. You have one side, you have the Xbox, which is, was crippled from the very beginning with the whole, like, DRM bullshit, which they changed, and I think that still has held them back to this day. They're selling half as many units on the Xbox One as the PS4 is selling. They're losing exclusives left and right. They canceled Scalebound. They canceled Fable Legends. They canceled that Phantom Dust remake that they were doing. And all three studios probably have a really bad relationship with Xbox now. Like, one of them doesn't even exist. That Phantom Dust remake, that studio, shut down when the game shut down. Lionhead, I have no idea what's going on with Lionhead. I have no idea what's going on with the Fable series. That's probably going to be in limbo for a long time. And then one day they'll bring it out when they're like desperate for exclusives and have it held up by another team. What's the company that's Scalebound? Platinum probably will never want to work with Xbox again. Not Hidetaka Miyazaki. Hideki Kamiya will probably never want to work with anyone at Microsoft ever again.
Come on PlayStation.
Yeah, they did kind of with Nier Automata, but that wasn't Hidetaka. I almost said Hidetaka again. Kamiya, that was not him. That was I forget the director's name from Nier Automata, but yeah, like Nier Automata, like same company, but that went on to like be a PS4 console exclusive, and that went on to be like a fucking critical darling. It's like sold really well. It's like considered one of the best games of the year. And what does Xbox have? What have they had? Well, no, they've had Halo Wars 2. Netflix. They've had Halo Wars 2, which you don't buy a console. I'm sure there's a market out there for it, but you don't buy a console to play a real-time strategy game, especially when it's available on PC. I can buy it right now if I wanted to on this fucking computer. Don't fucking buy it. I don't want that shit. But it's like, it's so simple to do on here. Why would you buy an Xbox for that? Alright, so, and then let's move on to the games that we know are going to be there. Like, definitely I know State of Decay 2 is going to be there. Are you excited for State of Decay 2?
Nope.
No? Yeah, me neither. Are you excited for Sea of Thieves?
Nope.
I really dislike how they're marketing it, because it's supposed to be like this big pirate MMO, and I'm like, okay, that could be really cool, but for me personally, how many people do I know that own an Xbox One? 2 people. How many people do I know will most likely buy it on PC? 0. Like, I don't know anyone that will buy it. Why would I buy Sea of Thieves if I don't have anyone personally? And also, why would I buy it knowing the history of Microsoft when it comes to these like franchises like this? Like and it's made by Rare, and it's been in development for like 2 years now, like more than 2 years, 3-4 years I'd bet. And we don't get like big splashes of it. We get small little development diaries throughout the year. That's it. And like barely anyone recognizes them. So when people mention like Sea of Thieves, they go, "Oh yeah, that thing." It's not like again to bring up. Let's not bring up PlayStation. Let's bring up Let's bring up Sega. Let's bring up Sega. What's the first property you think of when you think of Sega? Sonic. Sonic is a big one. You think of Sonic. That's at least one thing. What do you think of when you think of Nintendo? Mario, Zelda, fucking like Splatoon, all like their new franchises. Super Smash Brothers, like big franchises. What do you think of when you think of Microsoft? Halo, Gears. Yeah, Gears of War, Halo. And those series, like, they might be selling well, but they're in the hands of these, like, new companies that are not doing anything to, like, change the formula. And the one time that they did with Halo 5, where they replaced Master Chief throughout most of the campaign with Spartan Lock and got rid of the split-screen co-op for the campaign, people fucking hated it. People are like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are you removing split-screen? Why are you adding in these shitty microtransactions? Where the fuck is Master Chief? It might have sold well, and that's only because it's Halo, but where's everything else? What about Crackdown 3?
I was about to tell you that right now.
Yeah, like Crackdown 3.
It was Crackdown 3. What was there? That's been like under the radar.
I can't think. It's mainly like Sea of Thieves.
Like probably like
State of Decay.
Like if we go back like a couple years, probably we'll like look it up, we'll see, and everything's missing right now.
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah,
because I remember you were so surprised about Crackdown 3 and that they show what was it, the trailer, right?
Yeah.
And after that, now it's been like dead for the last couple of years. Nobody knows about it. We never heard about it. It probably might be canceled already. Probably might be just be canceled.
The last time we saw Crackdown 3 was August 2015, I think. Yeah, because that's when the Gamescom thing happened. Yeah, 2015. That was the last time. And even then, and back then too, we saw a demo for Scalebound at that thing. We saw a demo for Quantum Break, which poor Quantum Break, that flopped so hard. Well, I don't know about poor Quantum Break because it was fucking boring, but it's like, what do they have? Like, I don't
think of anything. Like,
I don't know.
I can't think of anything.
I don't know what they can do at this point. Like, I'm like racking my brain trying to figure it out, because it's like what can they do to make Project Scorpio like this home run success? Have Forza be your big game for it, which I know they're gonna show off. Forza, what is it now? Forza Motorsport 4, Forza 5, Forza 7. What are they doing now?
Forza, then you gotta compete with Need for Speed,
Gran Turismo.
Which you're going 2 against 1.
Well, yeah, it's not looking good, and they're running out of time regarding how often they can do this. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. And I tell you what, Project Scorpio, they need to get that price right, like out of the gate. I think $500 is the very maximum of what they should do. With like the amount of horsepower that's in that thing, I think $500 will be like not the sweet spot. I think that's like the absolute maximum I'm willing to accept. Like, what what would be your price point? What would that be?
Same thing, 500.
I don't know if I'd want it to be 500, but that's like the maximum I'm willing to accept.
I think that's the max, because I can't spend more. If I have to spend more on that on a console, I'd rather just build a PC.
I'd rather just buy I have a PC. I might as well just buy a PlayStation 4 Pro.
That's also true.
Because I can't get God of War on a Project Scorpio. I can't get fucking Days Gone on a Project Scorpio. I can't get Death Stranding on a Project Scorpio.
Pretty much, you can just get a PS4 Pro and put $100 towards a 4K TV.
Yeah. And
put the rest on a credit card.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And now what? A 4K TV now you can get one for like what? $600? 400, 500? Like a 40-inch?
It's probably a bit more just because of 4K nowadays.
No, 4K is getting cheaper now.
I don't know.
No, I've seen it. I'm like, seriously, like, you just have to invest how much into it?
I don't know.
Probably $1,000 you have like a 4K gaming or.
Oh sure, yeah.
You know, Project Scorpio goes a little bit more. Oh hell no.
Sure.
I'm like, no.
But yeah, that's Microsoft. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure we'll see Scalebound. I'm pretty sure we'll see.
You do this to me?
I know. I was so disappointed when I saw that Scalebound was canceled.
I was pissed.
Because I really wanted to try that out. And I was like, fuck. And now that's another thing that's just gone. We don't even know why. We've heard rumors that it was like underperforming on the base Xbox. Which, that's another thing. How powerful is this Project Scorpio going to be if there aren't going to be any exclusives for it? And they've said repeatedly that there won't be any exclusives for it. Because every Xbox One game that's going to come out from now on is going to be on both Project Scorpio and regular Xbox One. And if they have unified multiplayer and everything, like let's say Destiny 2 is 30 frames on Xbox One for the online. What is, like, that would be a huge disadvantage. Like, people would be pissed if they told you, like, hey, it's going to be 30 frames on regular Xbox One, but 60 on Project Scorpio. Like, that's a huge benefit to them. And I don't think that's going to happen. Either they're going to pressure Activision into making it 60 frames across all platforms, which I can see it as a likely possibility, or Project Scorpio is just going to have to be capped at 30 frames for the multiplayer. And that's an online-only game. Like, what? I don't... Because they did that, like, write-up about how it was, you know, running, like, this beautifully at 4K 60 frames. And I was like, okay. Like, but it was a hands-off demo, too. And it wasn't just... It was just Forza that they got to see. But, yeah, it's like Forza is going to be the... I'm pretty sure Forza is going to be, like, the big game that they're gonna push Project Scorpio with.
It's not that demanding.
Well, it'll be demanding for people that.
No, I'm saying the game won't be that demanding, so the
it might
can handle it.
It might, considering how fucking beautiful those games look. I don't care about the Forza games, but one thing I'll never deny is that they look good. They look really fucking good.
That's true.
But anyway, I think I'm going to split this up into 2 parts because we're already hitting the 40-minute mark. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Next video we'll talk about Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Sony. Sony's going to be the long one. That'll be the good one. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching.
Bye.
Bye.